Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic Hypersonic.
Positronic hypersonic.
Positronic Hypersonic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to talk to you about the latest episode of The Boys. It was called One Shots. And it starts out with the launch of the Democratic Church of America, with Firecracker sharing the good news that it's already starting to gel with congregants. Firecracker gets a call from her hometown reverend, who tells her as they talk at a diner in New York that his church is hemorrhaging constituents to the new church, and that there have been attacks on her church by soups. Later, Firecracker is forced to denounce her hometown church on her show when a false script is written for her to say about how her former church is just a bunch of starletter terrorists, and to insinuate that her pastor, who was like a father to her, was touching kids. Next, we switch to Black Noir, aka method actor Justin, who's got a side gig acting in a Bee Gees play, playing Barry Gibb of all people. He's using acting to work through his feelings about the Deep betraying him. Later, on his podcast with the Deep, on which O Father is a guest, Noir suggests that he go on stage with O Father and Homelander and be healed by him for Easter so that he can speak again. And he does this to get back at the Deep for basically being a dick to him, but in retaliation, the Deep murders the director of the play he was in, which basically scuttles the play, and he blackmails Black Noir to stay quiet. Then we switch to the perspective of Billy Butcher's dog, Terror. After having an interesting dream about Homelander, he watches the goings-on at the boys' HQ as Butcher and Mother's Milk try to locate bomb site. He then ends up eating some discarded burnt chocolate souffle, leading to a panic among the boys because, of course, chocolate can kill a dog, and they end up making him throw up to get the poison out. Butcher then says he'll give some V1 to Annie and Kimiko to help them stay safe, as a way of thanking Huey for helping him with Terror. After a few weeks of stewing on the sidelines, Sister Sage's plan also starts to emerge. She brings Ashley and Bashley, aka Back Ashley, in for a drink to get information about what Homelander is planning to do with the V1. She's also keen to know whether Soldier Boy is warming up to his son at all, as if he is, it would interfere with her plans. Sage and Ashley have a heart-to-heart about their tough childhoods before she opens up about what Phase 2 of her mission is. Apparently, it's about setting up the end of the world, as she wants the soup virus to get out, leading to something she dubbed World War Soup. And her plan is to sit it out in her bunker while everyone, including Homelander, is destroyed. At which point she says she'll be free to read her books in peace. Soldier Boy and Homelander decide to join forces to interrogate Stan Edgar and try to find the V1. When they threaten his daughter, he sends them to Los Angeles to meet with Mr. Marathon, who used to be part of the Seven before he was replaced with A-Train. Now a washed-up actor, he has a group of stars hiding out in his home, including Seth Rogen and Kumail Nanjiani, whose name I just butchered, who are discussing who in the industry has been rounded up so far. When Mr. Marathon is asked about V1, he confirms that Bomb Site has it and tells them to wait it out at his mansion, as he calls Bomb Site. However, it's quickly revealed that Marathon has another plan, and that is to take down Homelander, as he has Malchemical gas him with his toxic breath. The pair then try to get Soldier Boy on board with killing Homelander, but he's warmed to his son apparently, and doesn't want to cooperate. Bloodshed then ensues as Soldier Boy kills Malchemical, and several of the Hollywood cameo actors tricking Marathon into killing the rest by running into them at super speed. He then corners Mr. Marathon to see if he's telling the truth about Bomb Site as Homelander wakes up. After he says that Bomb Site definitely has some V1 as far as he knows, but that he hasn't talked to him in years, they kill him, at which point Soldier Boy says he's ending things with Firecracker because her pillow talk started to get annoying. The episode ends with Homelander confronting Firecracker about being with Soldier Boy, and about how it's clear to him that she doesn't really worship him, and he orders her to leave the tower. She tries to convince him to let her stay, but he ends up killing her instead by shoving her head into an eagle statue, which is where the episode ended. So I found that this episode contained some, consequential scenes, some scenes that, had some meaning, and on top of that, some scenes that were just a lot of gory fun and very funny. So I was glad for that, and I'm talking about the scene in the diner where you get to see the real Firecracker, the real person underneath the fake persona of the soup, and how she's really a sweet person and a good person, and that she really cares for her pastor and her hometown and her upbringing and all that. And I thought that was really cool. And it just made it so powerful when she was forced to denounce it all and to say terrible things about her pastor, and so painful to watch, to watch her go through that agony, because her only other option is to not do it, and then Homelander would kill her. So it was really just awful that happened to her. But at the same time, it had meaning, and so I thought that was terrific. Of course, Marathon Man was played by the actor who played alongside Jensen Ackles in Supernatural, so that was very funny. And those scenes were a lot of fun because the actors that were playing themselves were very funny. And then, of course, there was a ton of blood and guts, which is always great. So I enjoyed that. The shit is starting to hit the fan again, with Homelander on this quest to be seen as a god. So he had to kill Firecracker, which is awful. Again, just awful. But what I didn't like about the episode is that it went through that whole thing with Black Noir and the Deep. Like, okay, it was funny and gory and everything, seeing the guy get killed the way he did in the bathroom with something swimming up his rear end. But, like, what was the point of all that? Like, why doesn't Noir just kill the Deep? Just kill him. Just fucking kill him. Like, I don't understand why he's playing around with it. And I don't know why they had to spend time, in the 5th episode out of 8 of the final season showing us that. I don't understand what the point of that was. It's almost like they came up with a plot for 4 episodes and wrote 8 anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and worked in useless stuff, because last episode was largely useless. And there was more useless stuff in this episode as well. The whole thing with the dog, like, I'm a dog lover, but really, like, what was that? Just so that Butcher could say, all right, I'll let Kamiko and Annie have some of the V1 if we find it. Like, was that really necessary? Like, what? I don't know why they put that in there. I really don't. It's just, I didn't enjoy that part of it at all. And it's a shame, I think, that in the final season they're wasting time on stuff like that. But, the show is still good. I'm intrigued by Sage's idea of, unleashing the virus and creating World War soup. But, like, why would she need to pump Ashley or Bashley for information? She's the smartest person on the planet. She can see everything in motion at all times. She can figure out what's more likely to happen than what isn't. So why wouldn't she know with certainty who's up to what? Like, why would she need to talk to Ashley or Bashley to suss any of that out? I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, and I've been saying that about her all season. Like, it doesn't make any sense that she's doing any of the things she's doing, because she would know everything. So I don't know. I just don't know why they're spending time on that, when in the past she just did her machinations in the background and then took credit for stuff later, and we were like, oh, okay. But now they're kind of like showing her to not be very smart, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, there are 3 more episodes, so we're not done yet. Hopefully the next 3 will be real kick-ass episodes, because I didn't think this one was, though I thought it was better than last week's. So there you go. I'm going to get out of here for now. I'll be back with another video soon. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.